A really common question is, how often should you bathe your dog? And the real answer is that it depends. The real answer is if your dog is stinky or if they have mud coated on them, it's probably time to bathe your dog. And if they aren't stinky and they don't have mud coated on them, then you probably could get away with not bathing them. Most dogs only need a bath about once a month. Some dogs, because of the skin type that they have and other things, they'll need baths more often. My dog gets a bath much more often during the summer than he does during the winter because he's out in the mud, and well, muddy dogs probably need to be washed off. It's a detriment to the dog to bathe it too often. It washes away the oils and makes their coat not as shiny, and their skin tends to be more itchy then. It's just not a good thing. What do you do if you have trouble with your dog jumping out of the bathtub or running away, or you can't even get your dog in the bathtub? Well, I use a treat to get Ranger into the bathtub. I am guessing he would probably go in the bathtub without the treat now because he is obedient and he does well. But I realize that it's an uncomfortable thing for him, and so yes, I give him the treat. Another thing that you can do, you can take some peanut butter and put it on here. The reason behind this is that when the dog's in the bathtub, it's going to be concentrating on licking up this. Because watch this. Hey, Ranger! Oh, you love it, don't you? Yes. Some other ideas to help keep your dog in the bathtub while you're bathing them are, you can put a collar on your dog that is waterproof or that you don't mind getting wet so that you can hold on to it while you're bathing the dog. It helps help keep a handle on things. You can have two people in the bathroom bathing the dog, so one of them can help hold on to the dog a little bit more. Another thing that you could do is to have one hand on the dog at all times while you're washing them so that you can kind of sense when the dog is like about ready to like bolt, and you can like grab a hold of them, and it just helps keep them in the bathtub. Another thing that might make it a little bit of a nicer experience for a dog is a lot of times their feet will slip on the floor of the bathtub, and so if you have a rubberized mat or something that you can put down on the floor so that their feet don't slip around, that's helpful. Makes it a little bit more comfortable for them. Hi, it's Amy on A Lolly Life, and the most important thing before you bathe your dog is to make sure that you get all of your supplies ready before you even get the dog involved. I have the hose down there. I have the glove that I used to scrub with. I have the shampoo. I have a pile of towels. I have a tiny little treat on the counter to coax him into the bathtub. Another thing that's important is something to catch the dog hair. You should not be washing your dog in the tub if you don't have some way to collect the dog hair. You will clog up those drains very quickly. I use a tubshroom. There are lots of different things out there. I found this on Amazon. It works remarkably well. And now I will get Ranger. You have to get in the bathtub. Up and in. Yes, I know. There's your treat. Oh my goodness, you love it so much. You should check the water temperature before you start spraying your dog because you want it to be lukewarm. If it's warm enough for you to shower in, it's probably too hot for the dog. Step 1, wet the dog down completely. And by completely, I mean completely, because the water will want to like shed off of the top of their hair. You want to get it wet all the way down to the skin. And you need to stay away from their head for the most part. Don't bother spraying down their head. We'll get to it in a minute. There is one area right above their shoulders at the base of their neck that the dogs tend to want to shake off the water a little bit more often when that particular area is wet. And so because of that, as I wet the dog down, I will purposefully push the water off of that area with my hand. I don't necessarily do that everywhere, but I will do that because they're less likely to shake. They're still gonna shake on you. You're still gonna get wet. Yeah, it's still gonna happen. The reason that I use a scrubby glove
besides the fact that it is just scrubby, is because dogs kind of like the extra scrubbiness of it. And it helps remove any of the loose hairs from their undercoat or things like that that might be stuck in there, and therefore they will then shed less over the next little bit. Get out the shampoo and shampoo them up. You have to use the shampoo liberally. There is a lot of real estate to cover, like a lot of real estate to cover. So use a lot of shampoo. You should ask your vet for ideas on what shampoos would be best for your dog's specific skin and hair type.
The reason that I only wear a glove on one hand is because the area underneath on their tummy is particularly sensitive, and the glove has got spikes on it, and it could be a little bit too much for that area. They would love it up here, maybe not so much down here. Turn this way. Turn around. Keep turning. Thank you. They also tend to be a little more sensitive around their feet, and so I will not use the glove down next to their feet. I just kind of get down there with my hand and get between the toes, but I do not use the glove on the lower part of the leg because they tend to be more sensitive and they get a little more grouchy about that, I guess. Could hurt them. You have to actually get in there and scrub all the parts. Now we need a little bit of soap, and we actually have enough soap. We just needed it to be more sudsy, so I wet him down just a tiny bit, just enough to suds up the soap some more. Yes, I know you want to shake, but no shaking yet. You'll notice I have basically everything shampooed except for his head. The head you have to be particularly careful on because you do not want to get water in their ears. And they don't really want the water in their mouth or their nose. We're going to get some water, some liquid, and we're going to come up here and we're just going to kind of go over it with just a little bit more liquefied on the outside of the ear only. Do not get it on the inside. Even if the inside of their ear is dirty, that's not how you clean it. You get under their chin. But this is, this area up here is where you just have to be more careful. And so unless they've gotten into mud or something like that, and you know that there's mud on their face, you just kind of leave their face be for the most part. You don't need to do a lot of work scrubbing that. Unless, of course, they've managed to get themselves completely dirty and then you put a little more effort into it. But for the most part, you stay away from their face. You just use a little bit of wet shampoo water, and you just kind of use that to wipe over their ears. Do not spray their head with the sprayer or dump water over it.
Step 3. Rinse, rinse, and rinse some more. You want to make sure that you get all the shampoo off of your dog, because if you leave a shampoo residue on their fur, not only do they get dirty faster, but it can irritate their skin, and then you end up with sore spots where they've licked and licked and licked until it makes it sore. It can add to things like that. So make sure that you rinse all the shampoo out, and so I recommend rinsing it, and then when you think you're done, then do it again. And then when you think you're done, then maybe try one more time.
Did your nose a little dirty from all the dirt? Digging in the dirt? Yeah. Now that he's completely rinsed off, I will spend some time, no. Yep, I will spend some time actually scrubbing him like this, because it gets off all the loose hairs, and that will cut down on some of the shedding over the next few days, weeks. Okay, hold on, just a second. Hold on, in you go. Go ahead, shake it off. You gotta shake it off first. Shake it off, there we go. Thank you, steady on.
I dry Ranger off in the tub, And the reason that I do that is because it helps contain the hair loss and the cleanup mess. Wherever you dry him off, he's going to lose a lot of hair. You're gonna be brushing off a lot of hair. And so if I do it in the tub, then the mess is all contained in the tub. I use small towels when I dry Ranger off. And the reason that I have decided that small towels work best is because the larger towels tend to bunch up and kind of get in the way. And then they also will dip down and kind of touch in the bottom of the tub and get dirty that way. I've just found that it is easier for me to dry with a bunch of small towels than it is to dry with 1 or 2 larger towels.
I know, and you're just done, aren't you? You're just done. Here, let's dry your feet off one more time. When I'm drying his feet off, all I'm doing is I'm picking it up and I'm getting a gentle squeeze. I'm not actually doing too much between the toes. It bothers them when you do that. Yes, are you all done? And you are a fluffy ball. He's not all the way dry, but he's pretty dry. I have a little treat right here for him. Yes, you may have it, Mr. Poppy. Yep, and he's gonna shake off some more. And now, he knows that we have something else. Where's your toy? We're gonna get you a new toy. Let's go do it. It's normal for your dog to run around like a crazy maniac right after they've had a bath. Yep, he knows. We have a bin out here with Ranger toys, and he gets to dig through and just pick out what he wants. There you go. And he's off with his new toy. And his objective with his new toy will be to remove the squeaker as quick as possible. And so I will have to pick stuff and fluff up off of the lawn. We will go clean up. I put away the shampoo. Once I get this rinsed off, I put it in the bathroom sink to dry for an hour or so. I will pull out this little tub mushroom thing. And you can see how it collected the hair. Now I already actually cleaned it off once, carefully. I ripped off the stuff that was on the top. All that would have gone down the drain, or at least clogged the drain. Having something like this is pretty important. I'll put that back in. I just used the sprayer to just get all the dog hair down to the tubshroom again. Get the last of the dog hair. Use some kind of a rag or paper towel to now wipe up the dog hair that wasn't inside the tub, but is, you know, around, including on the floor. Dog hair's all in the trash. Towels go to the laundry. Bathtub's been washed out from the dog hair. Ta-da! Go show me your toy. Where's your toy? Go get it. It's just a mess, isn't it? Not much there. You gonna bring it to me? Is that the squeaker? Did you get it? You killed the squeaker.